Well, how you doing, buckaroos? How the heck are you? So, well, I got a little more on the angle there than I wanted, but there we go. See if I can get that can up where you can see it. It's Tallgrass Blueberry Jam. I was trying to fix it where you couldn't see the cardboard, but it doesn't really matter, does it? Anyways, how the heck are you, man? So, got this last weekend. Had a couple. Thought I'd do a live video, though. I didn't do a live video for it. It's 4.3%. Let me read just a little bit from their website. After a successful solo tour, we decided to put a band together with our jam series. Jam out with this refreshingly tart German-style wheat ale brewed with blueberries. 4.3%. The malts are two-row malted white wheat blueberry puree. They don't give, well, yeah, they don't tell you the hops. They don't give you IBU. So there you go. Typically, this style is light on IBUs or non-existent. What you get here, this uses blueberry puree. You certainly feel that on the nose. Quite frankly, with blueberry, a lot of flavors, most brewers will just use blueberry puree if they tell you what's in there. Most of them aren't using fresh fruit. A lot of them are just using a good extract. They just don't want to tell you that. And to be honest with you, in most cases, I bet you couldn't tell the difference, even though I know a lot of you think you could. Oh, starting with some session-esque beers today. Some of you may notice I'm using this, if you watched me earlier, using my Rodeburger glass for this one that I used for a Pilsner or Kel earlier. I did wash the glass. I don't use soap in my beer glasses, though. I know a lot of folks, I guess if you're using it right away, you can just rinse it and then pour. But I tell you what I do is I use white vinegar. I have a spray bottle that I keep filled with white vinegar. Spray it with the white vinegar, run some hot water through it, and then, you know, dump it out and then rinse several times to make sure I have all that out. But I don't like using soap in my beer glasses, and that white vinegar does clean. It's taken me a long time to get used to the Berliner Weisse. It has, but I'm starting to get there, man. I had some friends several years ago tell me to keep at it, you'll eventually get a taste for it. The honest truth is it's still not my favorite style. It's still not even a preferred style, and it probably will never be, but at least I'm getting to the point where I can understand the style. And every once in a while I find myself ordering one now because it sounds good. Whereas before, when I'd order one, I did it just because I felt like I had to know. So blueberry on the nose, you get a little bit of tart on the nose as well. Traditionally, most of the style runs between 2.8 and 3.5, top end at under 4%. For whatever reason, American craft breweries can't seem to get her there. I've had 3 lately. This one's at 4.3. I've got another one at 4.5 and another one at 4.8. Now, I don't know why American craft brewers are having such a hard time getting this at a traditional strength, other than I have talked to a lot of brewers over the last few years. And a lot of them just tell me that other than folks that really understand the tradition, most folks have a hard time ordering an under 4% beer, especially if it's the same price as, say, a 7% beer. You know, it's that block. Oh, excuse me. So they have taken some liberties here, but it is a decent beer. The blueberry isn't bad. When a fruit beer works for me, it does so when the fruit doesn't overpower the beer. It's almost just kind of a suggestion, you know what I mean? Here I have blueberry on the nose, but the flavor is mostly that of a Berliner Weisse with just a little bit of blueberry. I don't like when the flavor overtakes whatever the beer is supposed to be, whether it's a Berliner Weisse, whether it's just a wheat beer, whether it's whatever the hell it's supposed to be. A stout, I don't care. I don't like when all I taste is that flavor and not what the beer was originally. So for me, this one's okay. Will I buy this again? I'm going to tentatively say yes. The caveat being, I'm not going to buy it again this year. But I may get a wild hair next year if I see it in the stores. What I won't buy is a raspberry anything. I hate raspberry. I could say raspberry's been overdone, but you can have the same argument for blueberry. I just don't like raspberries. I just don't. I don't like raspberries. I don't like blackberries. I can deal with boysenberry, but for me, the only berries that really work are blueberry and strawberry. For me, the raspberry beers that I've had, the raspberry does tend to take over. It's a stronger flavor, where blueberry in general is more subtle, which is probably why I enjoy that. That's why I don't like blackberries either. I feel like it's too strong and they tend to take over. This beer is tart, but it's not sour. For me, a beer can be too sour. I know a lot of my beer geek friends that love this stuff say it can never be too sour. I mean, you know, can a beer be too bitter? Can an IPA be too bitter? The answer is yes. So, using that same logic, yes, a sour can be too sour. If, again, it's that same principle that I said earlier. If it overtakes the beer, if all I taste, if the only thing I can remember at the end of it was sour and nothing else, then it doesn't work for me. This one is nice. It tarts up at the end. It dries it out, but it doesn't make your asshole pucker like so many do. So there you go. Biscuit, I think I have a little bit left in here. Couldn't fit it all in there. Let's top her off. Nice head. It is nice beer. This ran, I think it was $9 for the 6-pack. So a lot of reasons why I don't buy sours, Berliner Weisse, Gozes is pricing. I mean, there's a good brewery not far from Springfield, Missouri. I don't know, a couple hours drive, but you know, Kansas City area. That makes some nice beer, but they're charging, you know, $15 for a 3.8% beer. I just won't go that direction. When I can pay $9, there you go. I am Ton to Beer Whisperer, BeerVangelist, prolific beer drinker, Purveyor of Wisdom, man.
How are you?
How are you? Neighbor, welcome back. And all around good guy. Y'all have a good one.